Xbox is running out of chances. And I'm not talking about just with fans, I'm talking about as an actual gaming platform. Because over the last decade, it's been one misstep after another. Promises didn't land, games didn't hit, and strategies felt like they changed every few years. And over time, you can just feel it. There's been a massive shift away from Xbox as a whole. More players are moving to other platforms, more games are skipping Xbox entirely and treating it like an afterthought. And what's left is a small group of extremely dedicated fans trying to hold on to something that doesn't feel as strong as it used to years ago. But here's the thing, Project Helix is coming, and it could be Xbox's last chance to really turn things around. One real opportunity to prove that Xbox still matters within the games industry, and that it's not just slowly fading away into the background, ready to be the next thing that Microsoft shuts down. But if Project Helix doesn't land, this is surely the end of Xbox as we know it. Now, I've been a massive Xbox fan since literally the day Halo 1 launched. I played it at a friend's house and I thought it was the most incredible game that I've ever played in my entire life, so much so that I begged my parents to get me an Xbox. And once they did, I literally put thousands of hours into Halo, playing it over and over on repeat. I beat that game on Legendary probably 500 times. I loved Halo. I knew everything about it. I read all the books. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me as a small child. And that was a massive point for Xbox, honestly. Without Halo, Xbox wouldn't exist. Let's just be completely honest on it. But they rode that high up to the Xbox 360 days, launching incredible third-party exclusives like BioShock, Dead Rising, Mass Effect, and then also launching their own incredible first-party games like Gears of War, Halo 3, and honestly the smaller games that not as many people like Viva Pinata and Cameo. But it honestly feels like since the days of Xbox 360, Xbox really hasn't done a single thing right. Their games never hit the highs that they're supposed to or that people expect of them, and their consoles just completely fall flat with promises of being the next TV box or the next streaming device or the next home gaming PC that doesn't end up being what it is. They've basically fed us lies on repeat, and yeah, they've had Phil Spencer at the top, who's an actual gamer, and he's led the company in a direction that nobody seems to like, because when they come out with the promise that the point of Xbox is to be about the games and having the best games for the players, and then you don't have the games, and the games that you do have aren't the best games, then what the fuck are you talking about, man? Game Pass is a broken promise that continues to get more expensive. The games that they announce don't ever seem to come out, and when they do, they're years late and they're nowhere near as good as everybody expects. Where the fuck is Fable? Where the fuck is the next Halo? Where the fuck is Gears 6, man? You left Gears on a cliffhanger? It's been like 10 years. Are they ever gonna wrap it up? Probably not, because a lot of people didn't like that storyline, because it really does feel like that Gears should have ended after Gears 3. Wrap it up with that trilogy, move on to something new. E-Day seems like a return to form, but we really don't know anything about the game beyond the initial reveal, which means we're left wondering whether it'll actually be good. That seems to be the case with everything out of Xbox these days. Will it actually be good? Will the new head of Xbox, Asha Sharma, actually do anything worthwhile, or will it just become more of a Microsoft-driven product that is designed to leech money out of you and then be bloated with nonsense and Copilot AI and all that type of bullshit and just make you hate them more? It honestly feels like the direction that they're heading in. It seems like Xbox has no clue how to run its own company. All they've done is break promises. They haven't delivered on the games. They haven't delivered on the hardware. If Project Helix is supposed to be basically a Steam machine, like a PC in your room, in your living room, rather than at your desk, I mean, it's kind of a good idea, kind of, because it will allow gamers to just have access to more games through Xbox. But at the same time, what's the fucking point, man? By opening up Steam on Xbox, people will just buy games through Steam because you can get better deals, a better return policy, so you'll just get a much better experience. But Xbox doesn't get any money from it. So sure, they get to follow through on their promise of, we're just opening it up for gamers because it's easier for gamers and it's what gamers want, but you're not making any money. And then you're gonna allow Epic Games Store available on the Xbox, okay? You're not making any money. It doesn't make sense for them to go that route because they don't make any extra money from it. And the goal at this point with Xbox is 100% to make as much money as possible. They might pretend that that's not true, and that they might say that their goal is just to be the best place to play games. That's, of course, they're gonna say that. Gamers are interested in that. Nobody wants to hear, hey, by the way, we're just trying to milk you for a dollar. Obviously not. But when you become the biggest acquisition in the history of Microsoft and you purchase Activision for $70 billion, You have to reclaim that money somehow, and you're not going to do it by making things cheaper. You're not going to do it by cutting costs. You're not going to do it by spreading the profit around. That's not how you recoup that. They need to pivot into a pure money-generating focused machine, which goes completely against what gamers want. Gamers want value. They want ease of use. They want great games. They want the ability to play with their friends easily. They want, the most amount of games possible for the least amount of price possible. And where you're gonna get that is with Steam, not on Xbox. And it's not gonna be on Game Pass, which keeps going up in price and keeps cutting features. And you're not gonna get that from the promises of these games that may or may not ever come out. Does anybody have faith in Halo anymore? Like, I have a shrivel of faith just because I love Halo so damn much. If Xbox was smart, let's be real, if Xbox was smart, Halo would still be one of the biggest games around. It would be huge. They could have turned Halo into their own Call of Duty. But because they're so mismanaged and so completely not understanding of what to do with their games, nobody gives a fuck about Halo anymore, man. Nobody cares. That could have been their own Call of Duty, and instead they chased games like Call of Duty, hoping to buy those games so that they can then have the game for themselves without having to build it for themselves. But you had the opportunity to build it for yourself, you just didn't take that opportunity because you're dumb as fuck, man. They've completely fucked up everything that they have. Call of Duty's been losing interest, losing players year by year because that game is getting worse and worse, and it's literally turning into what I said. It's a money-generating machine that is designed to get you to spend as much money and time as possible in Call of Duty. And gamers are becoming more and more aware of that, and they're being turned off by it. The game is getting worse. Why do I want to play a worse game and spend more money on it? I don't. So you're losing me there. So now that's a loss on their massive investment. Gears, kind of fallen off. Nobody cares that much about Gears. There's people who are excited for E-Day. I'm excited for E-Day, but it's not as big as it could be because you didn't know what to fucking do with it. Perfect Dark seemed like it would have been another great game to come out and get people's attention, but you clearly didn't know what to fucking do with it. So that game's gone. Redfall, another attempt to do something cool, but you didn't know what to fucking do. The studio was mismanaged. That game was terrible and it fell apart. And now that studio is gone, which is something that Xbox does. They buy you, they demand that you make something, they give you basically no involvement to actually help make it good, they let you run off and do whatever, and then they say, hey, we need that fucking game now, whether it's good or bad, we need it now. And then you release it, and it fucking sucks, and you're cut. Or you release it, and it's good, but it doesn't sell as much as they want, so you're cut. Like Hi-Fi Rush. Great game, cut. Xbox has no fucking clue. They're chasing the next big live service explosion because they want Call of Duty again. They want like primetime Call of Duty forever. And they don't understand that it could have been Halo. You could have had Helldivers Halo. You could have had Halo. You could have had Call of Duty Halo. Like, why would you not just make a new Halo game that's like a multiplayer Halo game that feels more like Call of Duty, except it's Halo? Like, I know Halo 4 attempted that and nobody really liked it because the timing wasn't right. But if they tried something like that again now and put money and time and effort into it, they could have wiped Call of Duty out. You want to play a sci-fi Call of Duty? Instead of playing Infinite Warfare or instead of playing Battlefield 2042 or whatever, you could have played Halo Warfare or whatever the fuck. You could have played that. Instead of playing Helldivers 2, you could have played Halo ODST 2, where you fight a ground war against the Covenant, and it would be awesome. But you mismanaged the fuck out of it. You want the casual audience? Well, what happened to Viva Pinata? What happened to Banjo-Kazooie? You have these IPs that you could do something with, and you could capture another audience that you currently don't have, but you don't do anything with it. Every decision they make is bad. And then they keep promising you the same bullshit promise. Yeah, we get Xbox 360 was amazing. Now we're gonna do better with Xbox One. Oh, sorry, yeah, Xbox One, we read the room wrong. But don't worry, we have this new hardware that's gonna be the most powerful Xbox ever, and it'll blow you all away. Here's the Xbox Series. Oh yeah, sorry everybody, we kind of misread the room again. But don't worry, we're gonna come out with the most powerful Xbox ever called the Project Helix, and that'll be the one where we do it right. Fuck off, man. How many times are they gonna do the same shit? And the same type of people fall into the same fucking lies and deception, and they believe it and they eat it 100%, and they're like, oh, Xbox is gonna turn around. This is it. This is the time. I have very little faith, man. Very, very, very little faith. What gamers want are games. They can't pull back the exclusivity thing anymore. It's kind of too late for them. They need their games to be multi-platform because they need to make money. So you can't just suddenly be like, actually, we're turning it around. Halo is now only an Xbox game. It's not gonna be on PS5. You're gonna be fucked. You don't have the install base. So nobody cares. Your games will do better because they're on PS5 and on PC. So they have to keep going with that. But the only way to get people interested in actually buying an Xbox is by saying we have a lineup of incredible 10 out of 10 games, and the only place to play these games is on Xbox or on Xbox PC, but you're still within the Xbox ecosystem. Gamers want great games. That's above everything else. They want great games. But if you can give them that game somewhere that they already have access to and somewhere that's cheaper, then you lost them. Xbox is backed into a corner big time, and they have almost no chance of getting out of it. It's unfortunate, but it seems like Xbox right now, their only option is basically to become the world's largest third-party publisher and really devote time into bringing back their prime tentpole IPs and focus on those and make people care about Halo again. Make people care about Gears. Make people care about something cool, man. Because right now, nobody gives a fuck. And if they don't come out with something amazing soon, goodbye Xbox. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.